Alright guys, let's talk about something most men have no idea is even happening. You're on a date, things are going well, you're having a good conversation. Or so you think. But what you don't realize is that you're in the middle of a test. A series of tests. Actually, and no, I'm not talking about a pop quiz on your favorite movies. I'm talking about the subtle, almost invisible tests that women use to figure out what kind of man you really are. Now, before anyone gets upset, this isn't about manipulation or playing games. Think of it more like quality control. Women are looking for a reliable, strong, and trustworthy partner. These tests are their way of checking under the hood, so to speak, to see if you've got what it takes. It's an evolutionary thing, deeply ingrained. They're gauging your character, your confidence, and your potential as a long-term partner. The crazy part, most of the time, women aren't even consciously aware they're doing it. It's instinctual. So today, we're pulling back the curtain. We're going to break down 10 of the most common tests you'll face, how to spot them, and most importantly, how to pass them with flying colors without even breaking a sweat. And the secret to passing isn't about memorizing lines or faking it. It's about actually becoming the kind of man who passes them naturally. So, let's get into it. First up, the compliance test. This is one of the most basic ones. She might ask you to do something small, something that seems totally random. Hey, can you go grab me a napkin? Even though the napkin dispenser's right next to her. Or, could you hold my purse for a second? It seems innocent, right? But what she's actually testing is your backbone. Are you an agreeable people pleaser who will jump at her every command? Or are you a man with his own frame and boundaries? Now, don't get me wrong. Being kind and helpful is great. The trick is in the asterisk. How asterisk? If you just immediately drop everything and do it like an obedient puppy, you fail. You've shown that your only goal is to please her. The right way to handle it is to be playfully resistant or to do it on your own terms. If she asks you to hold her purse, you could smile and say, "Sure, but it'll cost you. My purse holding fee is one compliment." Or, "I don't know. Does it match my outfit?" You're still being fun and accommodating, but you're showing that you're not a pushover. You have a personality. You lead. You don't just follow. Next, we have the protector test. This is a big one. A woman wants to feel safe with her man. It's a primal need, so she'll create little scenarios, consciously or not, to see how you react. Maybe she'll mention a creepy guy who was staring at her earlier, or she'll talk about feeling nervous walking home alone. She's not just sharing an anecdote. She's looking for your reaction. A failing response is to dismiss her feelings, get angry, or become overly aggressive. If you say, "Oh, don't worry about it," you're invalidating her. If you say, "Let's go find that guy. I'll teach him a lesson," you're showing a lack of emotional control. The winning move is to be calm, reassuring, and proactive. Listen to or acknowledge her feelings by saying something like, "That sounds really uncomfortable. I'm sorry you had to deal with that." Then, offer a solution. "When we leave, I'll walk you to your car. Or next time that happens, just come find me immediately." You're showing that you're her rock, her source of safety and stability. You're the protector, not the aggressor. Okay, number 3. The jealousy test. This one can be tricky. She might casually mention an ex-boyfriend, or talk about a guy at her gym who's always hitting on her. "Oh yeah, my ex, James. He loved this restaurant." Your first instinct might be to get defensive, insecure, or start asking a million questions about this guy. That's an instant fail. What she's testing is your confidence and your abundance mentality. Are you so insecure that the mere mention of another man sends you into a tailspin? A man of high value knows his worth. He isn't threatened by competition, past or present. The best way to respond is with complete indifference or even a little bit of humor. If she mentions her ex, you could just nod and say, "Cool, he's got good taste then." Or if she mentions the guy at the gym, you could smile and say, "Can't blame him for trying." You're communicating that you are so secure in yourself that other men aren't even on your radar. You are the prize. Let's move on to the future test. This is where she drops hints about the future to see if he gets spooked. She might say something like, "My sister's wedding is next summer. It's going to be so beautiful." Or, "These little kids are so cute. I can't wait to have kids one day. The wrong move is to panic. If you get wide-eyed, change the subject, or say, whoa, let's not get ahead of ourselves. You've failed. You've shown that you're scared of commitment and not serious. She's not asking you to pick out baby names on the second date. She's checking to see if you're a man with a plan, a man who thinks about his future. A strong response is to engage with the topic in a calm, confident, and non-committal way. You could say, yeah, weddings are great. I'm sure it will be a fantastic day. Or, they are cute. I definitely want a family of my own someday, but I'm focused on building my career first. You're showing that you're not afraid of the future and that you have goals. You're long-term material, not just a short-term fling. Number 5 is the disagreement test. No, two people agree on everything. At some point she will disagree with you about something. It could be about a movie, politics, or where to eat dinner. This is a test of your emotional maturity. How do you handle conflict? Do you get angry and defensive? Do you shut down and pout? Or do you try to force her to see things your way? All of these are failing grades. The way to pass is to respectfully disagree while maintaining a positive vibe. You're allowed to have your own opinion. In fact, it's attractive. You could say something like, that's an interesting point. I see it a little differently. For me, you're showing that you're confident in your own beliefs, but also respectful of hers. You can have a mature discussion without it turning into a fight. It shows you can handle the inevitable bumps in a relationship without losing your cool. This is a huge green flag for women. Okay, we're halfway through. Next up is the ignore test. This one happens a lot over text. You've had a great date, you send her a text, and you get nothing back. Hours go by, maybe a whole day. Your brain goes into overdrive. Did I say something wrong? Is she not interested? Should I text again? This is a test of your neediness and your emotional self-control. The absolute worst thing you can do is double text, or worse, triple text. Sending messages like, "Or you there?" is the kiss of death. It screams desperation. The winning move. Do nothing. Live your life. Go to the gym, hang out with your friends, work on your projects. Assume she's just busy. A woman is attracted to a man who has a full and exciting life of his own. He doesn't need her validation to feel good about himself. When you don't freak out, you show that you're secure and that your world doesn't revolve around her. More often than not, she'll text you back when she's free, and she'll be more attracted because you kept your cool. Number 7, the financial test. No, she's not going to ask to see your bank statement. It's much more subtle. It's about seeing your attitude towards money and generosity. A common scenario is the bill arriving at the end of a dinner date. This is the classic bill dance. She might reach for her purse or say, "Let's split it." Tease as a test. Now, in today's world, many women are happy to split the bill, and that's fine. But on the first date, a man of value leads. He takes charge. The best response is to gently wave her off and say, "I've got this." Don't make a big deal out of it. Just handle it. It's not about flashing cash. It's about showing generosity and your ability to provide. It signals that you are capable and that you see the date as something special, something worth investing in. It's a classic gentlemanly move that still scores major points. Coming in at number 8 is the shit test, also known as the frame test. This is when she playfully poke at you, tease you, or challenge you. She might make fun of your shirt or question your choice of drink. "Oh, you're drinking that? That's a girl's drink." She's not actually trying to be mean. She's testing your frame. How strong is your sense of self? Do you crumble under a little pressure? If you get defensive, offended, or try to justify yourself, you fail. You've let her comment knock you off balance. The key is to hold your frame and respond with playful confidence. If she teases your shirt, you could say with a grin, "Only the most stylish guys can pull this off." If she questions your drink, you can say, "I know, right? I'm secure enough to enjoy the good stuff." You're agreeing and amplifying, using humor to show that you are completely unfazed. It proves your confidence is rock solid. 9th on our list is the logistics test. This is about her seeing how you take the lead and make things happen. If you've been texting and she says, we should hang out sometime. This is your cue. A failing response is to say, yeah, definitely. What do you want to do? You've just thrown the ball right back in her court and abdicated all responsibility. A man who passes this test takes initiative. He makes a concrete plan. The correct response is, I agree. How about we grab a drink at that new spot downtown? Are you free Thursday night around 8? See the difference. You're being decisive. You've chosen an activity, a place, and a time. It shows you're a leader who can make decisions, which is a very attractive quality. Women want a man who can plan a date, not a guy who needs her to do all the work. Finally, we have the vulnerability test. This might seem counterintuitive after all this talk about being strong and confident, but it's crucial. A woman doesn't want a robot. She wants a real man with real emotions. After you've established trust and comfort, she'll test if you're capable of opening up. She might share something personal or vulnerable about herself and watch to see how you respond. This is your opportunity to connect on a deeper level. The wrong move is to stay in cool guy mode, making a joke or changing the subject. The right move is to listen actively, show empathy, and maybe even share something a little vulnerable about yourself in return. It doesn't have to be your deepest, darkest secret. It could be a story about a challenge you overcame or a goal that you're passionate about. Be doinkties. You're showing her that you have emotional depth and that you're not afraid to be human. You're showing her the man behind the confident exterior. So there you have it. 10 of the most common tests women will put you through. It might seem like a lot to remember, but it all boils down to a few core principles. Be confident. Be a leader. Have a sense of humor. Don't be needy. And be respectful. The goal isn't to become a master manipulator who can trick women. The goal is to work on yourself, to actually become that high-volume man who passes these tests without even thinking about it. Because when you embody these qualities, it's not a test anymore. It's just you being your best, most attractive self. Thanks for watching. Guys, if you found this helpful and it gave you something to think about, hit that like button and subscribe for more content to help you level up your dating life and become the man you were meant to be. Let me know in the comments which of these tests you've experienced. See you in the next one.